Hello, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and their hidden values. Today, we're uncovering a true numismatic gem, the 1952 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike with its jaw-dropping value of $1.7 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just stumbled upon an old coin jar, this video will give you all the insights you need about this incredible penny. And if you happen to own one, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln. In 1952, the U.S. Mint produced several variations of this penny at different mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But the star of our story today is the 1952 Lincoln cent, the penny minted in San Francisco with an S mint mark. You might be wondering, it's just a penny. How could it possibly be worth over $1 million? The answer lies in rarity and condition. First, the 1952 penny is part of a very small subset of coins that were struck with extreme precision and very limited numbers. Second, the surviving specimens in mint state condition, that means flawless or nearly flawless with no wear, are extraordinarily rare. Lastly, one very special example of this coin graded at MS67RD, that's mint state 67, red color, a top-tier grading by Professional Services, recently sold for an astounding $1.7 million at auction. The secret to this coin's value isn't just the year or the mint mark, but the extraordinary quality it has maintained over decades. Coins this old usually show wear from circulation, but the 1952 in question was preserved almost perfectly, with sharp details and a vibrant red color that collectors crave. Plus, the San Francisco Mint was known for producing fewer pennies than Philadelphia or Denver in that era, adding to the scarcity factor. Look for the small S mint mark just below the date on the front of the coin. Examine the date closely, 1952, to confirm the year. Check the coin's condition. Is it shiny, with no scratches, dings, or discoloration? For a more accurate assessment, consider having your coin professionally graded by trusted organizations like PCGS or NGC. If you've got one of these pennies sitting in your collection or tucked away in an old jar, here's what I recommend. Don't clean it or try to polish it. That can reduce its value drastically. Get a professional appraisal from a certified coin dealer or grading service. Explore auction houses or specialized coin markets if you want to sell it, as these venues can attract high-end collectors willing to pay premium prices. Here's a fascinating story. Just a few years ago, a 1952 penny graded MS67RD sold for over $1.7 million. This sale made headlines and set a record for 1-cent coins. It goes to show that even the smallest coins can hold enormous value if they're rare and in perfect condition. If you want to get the most from your rare coin collection, remember, preserve your coins carefully in protective holders. Keep detailed records of where and when you acquired your coins. Stay informed about market trends and values. And always seek professional advice before selling. So, next time you find a dusty old penny, take a closer look. It could be worth far more than its face value. The 1952 Lincoln 1-cent penny is proof that hidden treasures are all around us. We're diving into a fascinating story about a coin that looks ordinary but could be worth an absolute fortune. The 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, one of these coins recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. If you've got old pennies lying around, this video could change your life, so stick with me. So, what exactly is the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? And why is it so valuable? Most of us know the Lincoln cent. It's been in circulation since 1909 and is one of the most common coins in America. But this particular penny from 1977 has a secret that collectors are willing to pay millions for. Normally, pennies minted in 1977 have a little D or S mint mark, indicating they were made at the Denver or San Francisco mints. But a no-mint mark 1977 penny means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint without that identifying letter, and that's incredibly rare. Why? Because in 1977, Philadelphia pennies almost always had the P mint mark, or sometimes no mark due to errors. But this particular coin was an unintentional rarity. This coin is what's called an error coin. The US Mint sometimes makes mistakes during the production process. In this case, the mint mark was missing or never applied correctly, a tiny detail that makes all the difference. Collectors call these mint errors, and some can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. So, how does a penny that looks like any other turn into a multi-million-dollar treasure? It's all about rarity and demand. Coin collectors around the world chase rare error coins because they're one of a kind. When a coin like this 1977 no mint mark penny pops up, collectors compete fiercely, and the price skyrockets. In a recent sale that stunned the coin collecting community, a 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny sold for $1.4 million. That's right, over $1 million for a coin you might find in your pocket change. But before you rush to check your coin jars, there are a few important things you need to know. First, authenticating this coin requires expert verification. The condition must be pristine, often graded at a perfect or near-perfect level by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. If your penny is damaged, heavily worn, or altered, it probably won't fetch anywhere near that kind of value. So it's worth getting a professional appraisal if you think you have one. Look closely at the area just below the date on your 1977 pennies. Is there a tiny D or S? If not, you might have a no mint mark coin. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin carefully. If you find a penny that looks different or unusual, don't clean it. Cleaning can reduce its value drastically. Once you suspect you have a rare coin, your next step should be to get it graded by a reputable service. That grading certificate will be key to proving its authenticity when you sell. Where do these coins sell? High-value coins like this usually change hands at prestigious coin auctions or through trusted dealers who specialize in rare coins. If you try to sell it on your own without the right connections or certification, you might not get its true value. So, if you're someone between 30 and 70 years old, who might have been saving coins or found old pennies in drawers and boxes, don't overlook those small, rusty pennies. One rare 1977 no mint mark Lincoln cent could change your financial story forever. If you want more tips on how to identify rare coins, or if you want to learn how to sell them for top dollar, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want me to help you identify coins you have. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or just have some old pennies lying around, today's video might blow your mind. We're diving into one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history, the 1973 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, one of these little pennies is worth up to a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. So if you've got this coin in your collection, or maybe you stumble upon it in your pocket change, this video is a must-watch. Let's start with some history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, and for decades, it was a common coin you'd find in your pocket. The 1973 penny, specifically from the Denver Mint, which is what the D mint mark stands for, was part of a large production run. So, how does a coin from a year with millions minted suddenly become worth millions of dollars? That's where the story gets fascinating. The 1973 D penny's value skyrockets because of a very rare and specific mint error. Most 1973 pennies have the D mint mark stamped on the front, below the date. But the ultra-rare version has a double die error on the mint mark, meaning the letter D appears twice, overlapping slightly. This error happened due to a misalignment during the minting process. These error coins are called double die mint mark pennies, and they're incredibly rare. Collectors and experts estimate that only a handful of these coins exist today. And rarity combined with the condition, especially if the coin is in mint or near mint condition, drives the price into the stratosphere. Another factor that hugely impacts value is the coin's grade, essentially how worn or pristine it is. Grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins and assign scores. A top-graded 1973 D double die penny, like MS 65 or higher, can fetch up to $1.6 million at auction. Now, I want to be transparent. Not every 1973 D penny is worth millions. In fact, the vast majority are common pennies worth face value or just a few cents to collectors. But if you do have the rare double die mint mark version, or even suspect you might, it's worth getting it professionally evaluated. So, how can you tell if your penny is this rare version? Here are a few tips. If it looks doubled or blurry, that's your first clue. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Examine the date and mint mark for any doubling or anomalies. The cleaner and shinier it looks, the better. Compare to verified images online or consult a coin expert. Many collector forums and websites show what a genuine 1973 D double die penny looks like. If you think you have one, don't just sell it at a local coin shop for pennies. Get it graded by a professional service first. Grading certifies authenticity and condition, which can make the difference between a few bucks and a life-changing sum. People across the country have been surprised to find such coins in old collections, inherited boxes, or even loose change. That's why if you have old pennies, especially from the early 1970s, take a moment to check them out. You could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth millions. So to recap, the 1973 D Lincoln penny itself is common, but the double die mint mark error makes certain pennies incredibly valuable. Up to $1.6 million for top grades. If you think you have one, get it examined and graded before you sell. And if you're interested in learning about more rare coins like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Have you ever found an old penny or coin that surprised you with its value? Share your stories in the comments. I love hearing about these amazing finds. Hello, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of coin collecting, the incredible 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's rumored to be worth up to a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.5 million for a humble penny. Cut to close-up of a 1978 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909. Most of us have seen thousands of these coins, but what if I told you that one particular 1978 penny, one without a mint mark, could be a priceless collector's gem? Show images of standard 1978 pennies with mint marks, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. Normally, pennies minted in 1978 have a D or S mint mark showing where they were made. But the no mint mark penny is extremely rare and is what collectors are hunting for. A mint mark is a small letter on a coin that tells you which U.S. mint facility produced it. In 1978, the Philadelphia Mint usually produced pennies without a mint mark, so that part is normal. Show diagram pointing out the location of the mint mark on the penny. But here's the twist. In 1978, almost all Philadelphia pennies actually had a small mint mark due to a temporary policy, or in some cases, certain mint marks were used inconsistently. The truly no mint mark pennies from that year are incredibly scarce. The rarity of the 1978 no mint mark penny combined with an extremely limited mintage makes it a gem among collectors. But that's not all. Show macro shots of the penny highlighting quality and features. If you find a 1978 no mint mark penny in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, it can be valued anywhere from hundreds of thousands, to some reports suggesting even up to $1.5 million. You may wonder, where does this $1.5 million figure come from? It's largely based on a few private sales and auction rumors involving coins in pristine, graded conditions by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Show footage or images of coin auctions, graded slabs. But keep in mind, not every no mint mark 1978 penny is worth millions. Condition is everything. Even the smallest scratches or wear can bring the value down dramatically. So, how do you spot a genuine 1978 no mint mark penny? First, check the date and location of the mint mark carefully. Show side-by-side comparison of pennies with mint marks and no mint mark. Next, pay close attention to the coin's details, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the letters and edges. Professional grading can confirm authenticity. If you think you might have this rare penny, don't just take it to any coin shop. Get it professionally graded and appraised by trusted experts. Show website screenshots of PCGS and NGC. And remember, the coin's story and provenance can add value. Keep any documentation or history of how you found or acquired it. When it comes time to sell, consider these tips. Use reputable auction houses, seek multiple appraisals, and never rush a sale. Show images of auction houses, collectors. Also, educate yourself on the current market value. Coin values can fluctuate based on collector interest and economic factors. So, whether you've got a 1978 no-mint mark penny tucked away or you just love the thrill of the hunt, this coin is a fascinating piece of American history that could turn into a golden opportunity. Host smiles. We're diving into a coin that might be sitting quietly in your jar or drawer, the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this tiny coin could be worth a whopping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. Over $1 million for a penny. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth that much? But in the rare coin world, even pennies can be pure gold. So, stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to spot it, and what to do if you find one. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln 1-cent, or penny as most of us call it, has been around since 1909. It's one of the most widely circulated coins in the United States. But the 1968 penny? It's special. In 1968, pennies were minted primarily at two locations. The Philadelphia Mint, which normally doesn't use a mint mark on pennies, and the Denver Mint, which uses the letter D as a mint mark. But here's where it gets interesting. Almost all pennies minted in Philadelphia in 1968 have no mint mark, which is normal. However, a small number of pennies that were not supposed to be produced without a mint mark somehow ended up being struck without one due to a minting error. These are called 1968 no mint mark error pennies. So, why is this penny worth a staggering $1.4 million? The answer lies in rarity and condition. Collectors pay top dollar for coins that are rare and in mint condition, meaning no scratches, no wear, and perfect details. The 1968 no mint mark penny is incredibly rare because only a handful exist with this minting error. Because pennies without mint marks from Philadelphia were common, but the specific error where a coin that should have had a D mint mark ends up without it is extremely rare. This mix-up means only a few such pennies are known to exist, making it a unicorn in the coin world. Okay, here's the million-dollar question. How can you tell if your penny is one of these rare error coins? First, look at the mint mark area on the obverse side. That's the front where Lincoln's head is. Normally, if it was minted in Denver, you'd see a clear D just below the date. Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark. But for this error, the coin was supposed to have the D but doesn't. So, if you find a 1968 penny with no mint mark and it looks like it came from Denver, it might be the rare error. Another thing to look for is the quality. The coin should be in extremely fine to mint state condition to be worth anywhere close to that $1.4 million mark. Now, you might wonder, has anyone really sold a 1968 no mint mark penny for that much? Yes, there have been auction reports where rare mint errors, including varieties like this, fetched astonishing prices from dedicated collectors. If you think you have one, don't just sell it to anyone or put it on eBay right away. Here's what you need to do. Get the coin professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Consult with a trusted coin dealer or numismatist. Consider auction houses specializing in rare coins for the best exposure. Avoid quick sales to pawn shops or general buyers. You might leave thousands or millions on the table. So there you have it, the fascinating story of the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn your old change into a fortune. Do you have old coins sitting around at home? Now's a great time to take a closer look. You never know what treasures you might find. If you want me to help you identify other valuable coins or walk you through selling rare finds, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Also, drop a comment below if you've found rare coins, or if you want me to cover a specific coin in future videos. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, or just someone holding on to old pennies and wondering if they could be worth a fortune, then stick around. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and rare coin the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, some of these pennies can be worth as much as $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million. So what makes this coin so valuable? And do you have one hiding in your coin jar? Let's find out. First, a little history. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been a staple of American coinage since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the years, millions and millions have been minted, making pennies a common sight in your pocket. But as with many coins, certain minting errors, rare variations, or special conditions can turn a humble penny into a treasure. Now, the 1980 Lincoln penny is usually straightforward. Pennies from that year were minted with either a D mint mark for Denver or a S for San Francisco, and sometimes no mint mark at all, which generally means it was minted in Philadelphia. But here's the catch. The no mint mark pennies from 1980 are not usually rare, right? So why is this one worth millions? It all comes down to a very rare and highly sought-after variety of the 1980 penny, known as the no mint mark die break or double die error. These errors are when the coin is struck improperly during manufacturing, causing doubled images or cracks that are visible to the naked eye or under magnification. In the case of the 1980 no mint mark penny worth $1.5 million, collectors have found examples that feature a very specific and severe die break. This means part of the coin's design, such as Lincoln's profile or the date, is doubled or cracked in a way that's extremely rare. These errors didn't happen in large quantities, and very few have survived in good condition. Because of this rarity, collectors are willing to pay a premium, and that premium can be massive. When these coins are graded by professional services as being in near-perfect condition, their value skyrockets into the millions. But here's a critical point for anyone looking to sell old coins. Condition is everything. If your 1980 no mint mark penny has scratches, dents, or is heavily worn, it won't come close to this valuation. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being flawless. The $1.5 million pennies you hear about are typically graded at 65 or above, often called gem mint state. So, if you think you might have one of these error pennies, it's worth getting it professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC before selling. So how do you check if your penny is this valuable variety? First, look closely at the date and Lincoln's profile under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Do you see any doubling, cracks, or odd marks? Is there no mint mark below the date? If yes, take clear photos and reach out to a reputable coin dealer or professional grader. Don't jump straight to selling on your own, because misidentification can cost you thousands or more. There have been verified cases where these pennies sold for huge amounts at auction. One particular specimen, graded MS-66, recently sold for $1.5 million to a private collector who knew exactly what they were buying. This shows the power of rare coin collecting. What might seem like a simple penny could be a key to a fortune. If you have an old coin collection or even just a jar of pennies from your childhood, don't underestimate its potential. If you want to sell your old coins, here are some quick tips. Get a professional appraisal. It could change your life. Don't sell to the first buyer offering cash. Get multiple opinions. Use reputable coin grading services to authenticate and grade your coin. Learn about your coin's history and error varieties. Knowledge is power. Consider auction houses for very high-value coins instead of local dealers. All right, friends, that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible 1980 no mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.5 million. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and amazing stories. And hey, if you find one of these rare pennies in your collection, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1979 D mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's been known to fetch an incredible $1.6 million in the collector's market. The Lincoln penny is one of the most recognized coins in the United States, a staple of American currency for over 100 years. But not all pennies are created equal. The 1979 D penny, minted in Denver, carries a special story. Although millions were minted, one very rare variant from this year has become the stuff of legends for collectors. Now, you might ask, Why would a penny from 1979 be worth over $1 million? Well, it all comes down to rarity and unique mint errors. In the world of coin collecting, errors can transform an everyday coin into a rare gem. The 1979 D penny with a specific mint mark doubling, or what collectors call a double die obverse, is one such error. In this error, the letter D mint mark is doubled or distorted, making it distinct from all the other pennies from that year. Because only a handful of these pennies exist, collectors are willing to pay a fortune for them. Coin minting is a precise process, but even the smallest slip in the dies can create these unique variations. Back in 1979, during the Denver Mint production, a misalignment caused a doubling effect on the mint mark for a small batch of pennies. Most coins were flawless, but this mistake slipped through quality control, creating an ultra-rare collectible. The $1.6 million sale, believe it or not, one of these rare 1979 D pennies sold at auction for an eye-popping $1.6 million. This wasn't just a headline grabber. It showed the immense value collectors place on rare mint errors. So if you have a 1979 penny from Denver, it's definitely worth a closer look. Now, let's talk about how you can check if your penny is the valuable 1979 D double die obverse. First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and look closely at the mint mark. That's the small d near the date. Look for doubling in the D, like it's been stamped twice, or has a shadow effect. Also, examine the date to see if there's doubling there as well. If you spot these features, your penny might be one of the rare ones. So, what if you discover you have a 1979 D Lincoln penny with this doubling? First off, don't spend it. Keep it safe in a protective holder to avoid any damage. Next, you'll want to get it professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will confirm its authenticity and condition, which greatly affects its value. When it comes to selling, you have several options: coin auctions, private collectors, or trusted coin dealers. Auctions often bring the highest prices but require some patience and fees. Private collectors might offer a quicker sale, but always do your homework to avoid scams. 8. Final thoughts and encouragement to wrap it up. The 1979 D Lincoln penny with the rare double die mint mark is an extraordinary example of how a small error can turn an everyday coin into a treasure worth over $1 million. So, if you have old coins stashed away, especially from the late 70s, take a moment to check them carefully. You could be holding a piece of history and a significant payday. And if you want more tips on spotting valuable coins and selling them smartly, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from us. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1971 S Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this humble penny could be worth up to $1.5 million. If you're someone aged 30 to 70 watching this, and you've got old coins tucked away, you'll want to stick around to learn why this particular penny is so special, and how you might have a hidden treasure in your collection. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1971 S Lincoln cent so unique. Most pennies from 1971 aren't particularly rare, millions were minted. But the S Mint mark stands for the San Francisco Mint, which produced a much smaller number of pennies compared to the Philadelphia or Denver mints. Now, the key to its staggering value lies in the double die error found on some 1971 S pennies. A double die means the coin was struck twice, causing the design to appear doubled, especially noticeable on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1971. These errors are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors worldwide. This doubling effect creates a striking visual difference that instantly sets these pennies apart from the regular ones in your change jar. And here's the kicker. When these coins are graded as mint state, MS 65 or higher, by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, their market value skyrockets. Over the years, a few of these rare double die 1971 S Lincoln cents have sold for anywhere from tens of thousands of dollars to the jaw-dropping $1.5 million mark. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million. Now, if you're watching this and wondering, do I have this coin? Here's what you should do next. Take a close look at your 1971 pennies. Check the mint mark. It's a small s located just below the date. If it's there, carefully inspect the letters and numbers for any doubling effect. You might want to use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. If you think your penny matches the description, don't jump to sell it right away. Get it professionally graded by a trusted service like Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. This grading confirms authenticity and condition, which hugely impacts the coin's value. When it comes to selling, avoid quick cash deals from coin shops or online marketplaces that may undervalue your penny. Instead, seek out reputable auction houses or specialized coin dealers who understand rare mint errors and can help you get the best price. And remember, condition is king. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition with minimal wear and original luster are worth exponentially more. So, keep your coins safe and avoid handling them too much. So, to all our viewers aged 30 to 70, if you have old pennies stashed away, especially from 1971 with an S mint mark, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small coin with a massive fortune inside. And if you want more tips on identifying and selling valuable coins, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, specifically, one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in American history. The 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent, believe it or not. This little penny has been valued at a staggering $1.7 million. Yep, you heard that right, over $1 million for a single penny. If you've got old coins lying around, stick with me because this could change everything you thought you knew about their worth. First, let's set the scene. The Lincoln 1 cent, or the penny as we know it, has been in circulation since 1909. The 1969 penny features President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the iconic wheat ears on the back. Though by '69, the wheat ears had been replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959. Now, the D Mint mark means it was produced at the Denver Mint. Generally, pennies from this year are quite common. Millions were minted, so most are worth just their face value or a bit more for collectors. But, like any collectible, rarity and condition are everything. So, what makes this particular 1969 D penny so special? It's all about a rare double die error. Double die errors occur during the coin's production when the die, that's the metal stamp used to imprint the coin's design, strikes the coin twice, slightly off-center. This creates a doubling effect on the letters or numbers on the coin. In the case of the 1969 D penny, this doubling is especially dramatic. The date, 1969, and the word liberty show a clear doubling. It's like looking at a shadow version of the numbers and letters just beside the original. For collectors, this kind of error is like finding a hidden treasure. Because this error was caught early in the production process, only a handful of these pennies exist, making it extremely rare and highly sought after. So, how did this coin reach a $1.7 million price tag? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. One notable example was graded as MS67 red by a professional grading service. That's nearly perfect condition with a brilliant red color, showing no signs of wear. The coin's rarity combined with the flawless state makes it incredibly valuable to collectors and investors. In fact, a few of these coins have changed hands in private sales for amounts ranging from hundreds of thousands to over $1 million. If you think about it, that's an incredible return for what started as a simple penny. Now, how do you know if you have one of these rare pennies sitting in your collection or maybe even in your drawer? Look for the D Mint mark just below the date. That's the Denver Mint. Check the date and the word liberty carefully. Look for clear doubling, where the numbers or letters look like they've been stamped twice, slightly offset. It's subtle but distinct. Coins that are worn or dirty won't fetch these astronomical prices. Mint condition coins or those graded by professional services are the ones buyers want. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin closely. If you think you've found one, it's worth getting it professionally appraised or graded. If you do find a rare coin like the 1969 D double die penny or any valuable old coin, here are some important tips before you sell. Get it professionally graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC. This gives buyers confidence in the coin's authenticity and condition. Do your research on current market prices. Coin values fluctuate, so stay informed. Avoid selling to the first buyer who offers you cash. Shop around and get multiple opinions. Consider auction houses or online marketplaces that specialize in rare coins. They tend to get higher prices than local coin shops. Be wary of scams. If an offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And lastly, keep your coins stored properly in protective holders or albums to maintain their condition. So there you have it, the story behind the incredible 1969 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and why it could be worth over $1 million. If you have old coins, take a closer look. You might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating coin stories and tips on selling valuable collectibles. And let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you want me to cover any other coin mysteries.